Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if it's your first time. A man with the most beautiful, compassionate eyes, watching from afar someone he once used to love very much, but on his journey decided that he did not deserve to have that person because of his own haunting inner wounds that he refuses to let go. If only he would undergo intense treatment to cure his worn, sad heart that had been broken once too many times. He has chosen solitude even when among people, believing that he deserved to be alone and no one could ever understand him for what he was, because he felt like he was so unworthy of anyone's love and that people needed to stay away from him. Otherwise, he would just make them as miserable as he was. This is a very sad story. He has a very big loving heart that he felt he could not share with anyone because he did not deserve to share it with others. Because all his life, that was what he had been programmed to think of himself. Like whatever any mishap happened, even if it was not his fault, he believed that he was to be blamed. He took all the blames on himself. He carried others' guilty feelings and tortured himself with thoughts that did not belong to him. He had been taught to give a different image when around others to hide his guilt. But when he was alone to himself, he would be indulging in things that made him feel lowly even further, keeping him stuck in the dark cave that he constructed for himself. In his cave, when he thought no one noticed it, it would be like he's taking the red pill in a metaphorical way. If we look at it, it would be like he's taking the red pill. But behind the scenes, in actual fact, it was a yellow pill. He was taking that he thought would be a solution to his miseries, which only was enough for a temporary break he would have from the effects. But when the effects worn off, he would be back to square one, where he had started off from. And that was probably how his childhood had been, because he was given substances that he had been told was something else, but ended up being something else. I mean, for example, it is like cheating a child, that you're giving them orange juice, but in the drink, alcohol was added to intoxicate the child so that they would pass out and the parent could do whatever they wanted without being disturbed by the child. And he had been made to feel like a burden all his life, like he was one too many in a family unit, and his presence was just like by accident, and he was not meant to have been brought to this world, and he did not deserve to occupy any space because he was the one man too crowded in a room, and he had to go away and find somewhere else to put his body mass. It was like he was meant to feel like he needed he needed to be off with himself before anyone noticed him, because when people noticed him, it was going to be like some trouble or problem would occur by his presence. He was intimidated by his own presence. He was made to feel like he needed to hide away from people's gazes. People were not to see him in any way, and he accepted this role, believing he was unworthy of this life's blessing, that when God bestowed him with blessings, he would reject, and that's a confirmation. He used to feel so unworthy of these life's blessings that when God bestowed on him with blessings, he would reject the blessings by pushing them away from himself, making it hard for people to approach him in any way. Some of us undergo some of these experiences in life from different experiences in our lives that lead us to do such nonsensical moves that cost our happiness all our lives, because we sacrifice ourselves for what really does not belong to us. We take on other people's emotions and feelings, believing that we are responsible for other people's happiness or sadness, but in actual fact, we are not responsible at all. We are not responsible for how someone else feels. We are only responsible for how we genuinely feel, and that should not be from something manipulated or projected towards us. We are not responsible for someone else's doing as well or downfall, which they played a part on their own. If they make the mistake, it's their responsibility to clear it, not you. They have to learn to take responsibility of their own actions and not project their guilt onto us to get away with what they are doing. Everyone should take responsibility of their own crimes and actions. You are not responsible over anyone's misery if they choose to indulge themselves in things that ruin their lives. If things go wrong, it is not your fault. We are all going to be judged individually during the day of judgment, and no one will be judged over anything someone else did. You will be judged over only your deeds. So if anyone has to judge themselves, let them judge themselves on what they really are responsible of and not what they are not responsible of. If to this time you have been led to or manipulated to do what you do because of some selfish person, and now you know the reason why you are the way you are now, is the time to take care of yourself and lift yourself up. It is never too late to start all over again. No matter what age you are, just take the first step of saying yes to yourself and accept and embrace things that would bring you to a better you. A better you is a better world all around you, and that will give you peace inside as well as outside. You deserve the care, you deserve the treatment, you deserve the love, you deserve the compassion to yourself. You deserve to hold yourself safely now that you know what happened. You deserve to be seen, see yourself. You deserve to be recognized, recognize yourself being. You deserve to be loved, love yourself first. Before anyone else does anything, do to yourself what you deserve to be done to you. If God created you and allowed you to live to this day, it was meant for a purpose, because it was known that you could fulfill that purpose, because you were deserving all the good things on this world. You doubting yourself is what someone else projected onto you, probably because of their own reasons. And even then, they do not know what they are doing, because if they did, they would not do what they did. But you know what you deserve and you see it. Give that to yourself. You owe it to yourself, because your purest form of soul knows that you deserve that, but your ego self, because generally can be toxic, keeps you lagging behind. We do not live according to how people will think of us or how they think we should be living. We live according to how we should be living on this earth, the way it has been bestowed on us by God, the Most High. Those people who manipulate you and manipulated you to be someone who you are right now, they were also manipulated. But you know better, because you see the toxic chain and know it has to be broken, starting with you. You know this very well. It is easier said than done, yes, but not impossible. No, it's not impossible. Wait until you start the first step to a better you. No one else than you can change that, and you are the only one who knows the way to what you deserve. If you wait for someone else to do that for you, it might not work out so well, because it would be something you would be doing because of someone else's opinion, and you would not be willingly doing it. So on the way somewhere, self-sabotage will happen, and you will go back to your old ways. And does going back to old ways make you feel better? No, it won't. People are not aware that they will be judged and asked of the deeds they did on earth and how they spent their time on earth. The angels are recording each and every second that you use. There's an angel on your right, there's an angel on your left. The right one writes all the good deeds that you do, and the left one writes all the bad deeds that you do. I mean, how will we answer for that? We are responsible for the way we spend our lives in our times. We are responsible for the way we spend our times in our lives. Yes, somewhere along the way there had been manipulations, but after understanding what had happened, why are we so intent to stay in the dark when we know how we could get to the light? Of course, some people might feel like it is hard to leave their habits, but it all comes down to your intention. When you make your intention for the sake of God to make your life better, it is going to be made easy for you, because God will always send you help. Although sometimes, because we are so much focused on our feelings, we might miss out on seeing the help. Help will always be provided as long as you make the intention to do what is right. This is also sort of like, someone else out there talking about how it should be, and again feels like manipulation. But just think it is up to you to choose what is right. And surely when you see the right, who wants to do the wrong, knowing the downfall when the bliss is just a finger away from you? So this is what I'm guided to give out right now, and I hope this helps someone to make healthy decisions for our lives. In the beginning, you might not have had the power or orientation to do that, but now you know that it is your decision to either stay in the cave that makes you miserable, or move out and live your life the way you deserve to live. So till next time, take care, have a great day, and God bless.